Mike, how are we?
Good, nice shirt, man.
Oh, yeah, Ty. Do you know the band? You heard of them?
Stupid name.
Yeah, how'd you come up with that name? I was looking at it back in the day and I was like, no, the band came out before the movie came out. It was very close. I know it was a book, of course, but how'd that come to be?
The book sounded clever, so Daniel and Chris decided to go with it.
Fair enough, fair enough. Obviously, it's just one of those things of like, oh, yeah, we'll just choose a band name. Maybe we'll change it later, but you can never change it, man. Once you've got something, it just sticks, doesn't it?
Not unless we get sued.
That too. That too. Well, Mike, it's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here, man. And just seeing you on the Australian tour opening for Bullet. How was that whole experience? It's always good to have you guys back down under.
Yeah, it's so good to be back. We really extended much longer than we even kind of realized with the pandemic as far as not
Mm.
being able to be back. And we were able to do Alpha Wolf and yeah, the fact that Bullet was kind enough to ask us this year. It was awesome. It was such fun.
Oh no, they were great shows as well, and it was a perfect little teaser to Flowers because you only played the two songs off it, so it kind of left everyone wanting more, especially me myself. And the new album is out in 3 weeks. How are you guys feeling about the whole thing? Because this is it's a bit of a change for you guys. It's really shown the growth of the band as a whole when it comes to songwriting and just the imagery of how you've presented everything at the same time.
Uh yeah, I'm just ready for it to be out.
Mm.
I feel like really every album, maybe not so much Color Decay, that one kind of felt a little more mild as far as ramping up to it, but um we've been working for a long time on Flowers, and there's been so many um sizable decisions even still being made and whatnot. And I don't know, it feels like so much pressure built up to a degree, and I'm just ready for everyone to hear it, front to back and experience the album.
Yeah, because it is a bit of an experience, and it's interesting because the way you've done it, because you had Where the Flowers Never Grow, the music video, which also led into Waves, which are nowhere near each other on the album at all. How'd that even come together?
I think it was just John wanting to push Wave, or maybe someone else, Jeremy, on the team, and feeling like that was the right kind of two duo of songs to put
Mm.
out, and lead things out and actually name the album, and announce it. So yeah, it shows definitely shows the softer side Wave does.
Mm. Definitely does as well. And it's an interesting concept, that music video with the toad looking kind of cult at the same time, and then that toad reappearing in eyes as well. I'm trying to follow if there's a story going on here. It almost feels like it's unfinished because you're hallucinating as the puppets. That was a nice touch. I was a big fan of like Buffy and Angel back in the day, where there was the whole episode of them turning into Muppets and everything. So it was cool to kind of relive that, almost relive my youth, because I feel every TV show kind of did that at one point in time. So it was nice that you guys did it as well. Like, do you guys have a big hand in to what the music videos are going to be at the end of the day, or do they come to you with an idea and you're like, hell yeah, that's awesome, let's just go with that?
No, we are very, very involved,
Mm.
especially John and Jeremy. Our buddy Wyatt Clough has been directing, or has directed, all the videos for this album. He's been photographing. He photographed the cover too, and he photographed us in Latin America a month or two ago. But he's brilliant. He's super funny, really curious dude, and we talk to him constantly. We have like a group chat where he's floating music video ideas and whatnot. So he will write the treatment, but I will say we're very heavy handed and guiding it to where we want it to be.
Yeah, no, cool, cool. I like it. And like I said, at the end of Eyes, you have that little devil man kind of appear. Is that going to appear anywhere else, or is that something you can't quite tell me just yet?
Not that I know of. We have been so busy filming music videos, and today we put out Everybody Knows.
Yeah.
So I can be honest and say we have nothing backlogged or cataloged at this point, which is different from the last like year and a half where we've been sitting on things and editing and releasing. So I'm pretty music videoed out. They're
Yeah.
long days shooting those videos, so it's nice that there's nothing there's nothing coming up. But busy is good, and there are much worse problems to have than having to shoot a music video.
Well, that's true at the end of the day. I don't know. I was watching the Everybody Knows music video, and as someone who's afraid of heights and watching you kind of sit on the edge of that thing with the guitar, I was, I don't know. Were you very high up on that? I couldn't tell from the angles or anything.
Not on sitting on the concrete structures was just like, I don't know, 10, 12 feet.
Okay.
But the actual tower with the drone shot is 6 stories in the air. And I'm not very good with heights either.
Hmm.
And you had to climb just a metal ladder all the way up. There weren't even stairs. So I found out that Jeremy's very bad with heights. He still did it, of course. And I also learned that John has no problem with heights. John was just going up and down because he was there at the video hanging out. So yeah, by the time it was done, I was pretty cranky and just thinking, get me the fuck off this thing because I don't love it. I don't
Yeah.
love it.
No, no, I'm with you. I'm glad you're human after all. It's nice to know you're afraid of that stuff too at the end of the day. But you guys have come such a long way from the early days, especially the titles of the songs as well. I remember when you guys first came out when I was just exiting high school, dogs can grow hair all over. Hey John, what's your name? Is it different to kind of like explore this evolution? Because metalcore as a whole, if I look back 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, it's completely different. I feel like the whole genre has allowed itself to grow and to go off in different directions that the artists themselves wants to do. And fans seem to be along for the ride. I remember back in the day, if a band changed their sound at all, it was ridiculed, you couldn't do it. Where I feel, and especially you guys, you've been able to do all these singles that have come out, and all the comments are like, I love the old stuff and I love the new stuff. It's just so cool to see them grow. Have you been kind of been paying attention to the comments there? And like, how do you feel? Is it nice to be able to grow and not have to worry so much about, alienating the fan base?
I try to pay as little attention to comments as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we do these collaboration posts on Instagram, and I feel like I don't know if it's like the algorithm or something, but I feel like I only see the nastiest things coming up on my like personal feed. The way I kind of see it is like if like a nice comment is a +1, a negative comment is like a -10.
Oh
Like
yeah.
they aren't one for one, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
And therefore I stay away. But I think what's most important is our team and talking with the press and media and all the positive feedback I've received outside of the comment section of
Mm-hmm.
YouTube or Instagram or something. So I'm good to separate. I've received more than enough hateful comments about any number of my work over the years, and yeah, I just know that we're pumped on the album. We feel very good about it, and the critical reception's been really positive. So I'm good with that.
Yeah, and you should be proud of it, and not to just toot your own horn. I'm not just saying it for the sake of saying it. This is by far my favorite album you guys have put out. It is so different from start to finish. It's a journey at the end of the day. And I was sitting there when I first listened to it, going, "How are they going to pick the singles of this?" Because this really does feel like an album where you could have just picked anything, done a music video, and put it out. It's that strong, and I feel there's a couple of songs on there, All Out in particular. I think it's going to take people by surprise. I got a feeling some old school fans are going to be quite happy with that one as well.
That's very kind of you. I really appreciate it. It was, and I'm the worst at picking singles, so I'm glad that our record label and John and Jeremy and our manager Paul, they've been calling the shots in those regards. But yeah, for you was a video. Um, So Low was also a video that we weren't really intending on pushing, but for you, our booking agent Matt was like, you have to make this a single, and other members at the label were like, you have to make this a single, and then Brandon at Solid State, who runs the label, he's like, I need a video for So Low, so like, we'll make a video for So Low. Like I mentioned earlier, there's much worse problems to have than picking, singles and whatnot. But
Yeah.
yeah, I All Out is up there for me. It's the most old school song I think for Prada, and even the way we fashioned the song was how we used to work more so. So that one definitely has my fingerprints on it
Oh
more
yeah.
more so than others. And I don't know, people will still say like it's not heavy, and it's like, well, you haven't heard All Out then.
Yeah.
It's on the album. Just fucking listen to it.
I kind of like that too. I like saving something like that for last because if you reveal it too early, you've already let the cat out of the bag. There's no fun in that, so you've got to kind of keep it as close to the album release at the same time. Because trust me, all the comments are going to be saying, "Where's the heavy song?" It's there. It's there. You just got to wait. Good things come to those who wait at the end of the day. But when you came down to writing this album as a whole, especially you, because you do like it's more vocal and big hook heavy, this album, than I'd say the previous ones. Like, what was the writing process like for this? Did you guys come in with the idea and this is what you wanted to do, or when you were just writing the songs, did everything just naturally fall into place?
I think a lot of it is the runoff of Color Decay
Mm,
and the fact that that was the first time that John produced a full album with the band, and John has a very distinct he has like a distinctive relationship with pop and his pop sensibilities, and he writes hooks. Like
yeah.
that's John sees music very distinctly as hearing songs and hearing hooks, more than like looking at a whole album, although of course he has a vision for that too. But um yeah, I think I said this before, but I just think that the whole quote unquote metalcore genre is, the heaviest stuff you can write with poppy hooky choruses. And the way we operated to a fault for a long time was that these poppy hooky choruses were a little too much of an afterthought rather than really the genesis of the song.
Mm,
And looking at Flowers, the genesis of the song, for the most part, on most of the songs, was like having a chorus and then building out from there, rather than like, hey, we wrote a metal song and I'm gonna write all the lyrics, and then Jeremy is gonna like fit the lyric into a melody and whatnot, and then over the course of however many albums, you get a lot of kind of throwaways or B-side type material when you look back on it. So, um, not to be long-winded, but yeah, choruses, as really being the heart of the song, is a big point of emphasis for Flowers.
and it shows as well. And it's one of those things too, when you go out there and play these songs live, the crowd loves singing along. So the bigger the chorus you've got, the more you get the crowd involved at the end of the day. And with a band that's been around for 20 years, it's one of those things you kind of got to do at the same time. And look, I'm all for it. Where the Flowers Never Grow has been stuck in my head since the second that song came out. It's an absolute earworm. My wife walks around the house all day humming it. Absolutely loves it. So you've done something right there. You've done something absolutely right there. But
Thank you.
no, I'd be wrong if I didn't mention it, but I'm hoping we see a headline tour in Australia in the next year or two, because it'd be such a shame if we didn't get to hear more of these songs. Because, like I said, you guys played Ritual and For You in Sydney when I saw you, and I was like, man, I got to hear some of the rest. As someone who had the album in advance, I was like, oh, I know what's on there. I just got to hear it. So, have you worked much into the set list yet? Is that something you've thought about, or is that to come a bit later?
We are supporting Ice Nine Kills across Europe and the UK at the end of the year. We're popping in some new songs there, and then getting into next year, it'll be very heavy Flowers material for the set list.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, we definitely want to headline Australia. If we're not supporting, it's always hard to say turn down great support tours and have the pleasure of playing. I think there was 18,000 people across 3 shows on that Bullet run. So
Oh, yeah.
like, sign me up. I love doing it. I love supporting. So definitely Australia in 2026 in some capacity. There were talks, but nothing locked in. But I don't know. It's such an amazing scene and culture around heavy music,
Yeah.
and I feel like just Australian culture just embodies heavy tunes to such a degree. And it was a shame that it took us. We had a bit of a gap there with the pandemic and everything, but we won't make that mistake again.
No, beautiful. Well said, Michael. I will let you go. Thank you for taking the time to do this with me today. Is there anything you just want to say to the fans out there before we sign off?
No, I appreciate all your kind words, friend, and I appreciate everyone that's journeyed out and spent their hard-earned money and time to see the Dev Wears Prada. And yeah, we're being very diligent and intentional about getting back to Australia as soon as we can.
Beautiful. Well, hope to see you soon, Mike. You have the best, and good luck on the album release. It's fantastic. Can't wait for people to hear it.
Thank you, thank you. Have a good
Cheers,
one.
mate. You too.